Hello everyone, it's Mo. Welcome to today's video. I'm pretty excited to share this video with you today, and it's been highly requested, so thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoy it. So today, oh, here we go. So today, we're going to be talking about brushes, how I clean, sanitize, and take care of my natural hair and synthetic brushes. I can't believe I have this many brushes either. So I'm going to share with you all of my secrets, all my tips, things that I've used throughout the years that have worked for me. And I have brushes that are over 5 years old, and they are like brand new because of all of these things that I will share with you today on how I care for them. I also share how I save water and what I do to save water, because I am very guilty of this in the past. Just running water like crazy and just watching it go down the sink for no good reason. So I also try to incorporate ways on how to save water if and when we can, especially for cleaning brushes. So, come on, let's get started. As you can see, I have a good amount of brushes that we need to clean today. I have synthetics like my Marc Jacobs and my Shiseido. I have natural hairs that include my Wayne Goss, Chikuhodo, Sonia G, and I'm sure I have other ones in there too, I'm not saying. We've got face brushes, eye brushes, makeup sponge. Yeah, and we are going to clean them all. And then I'll share how I dry them and, you know, all that detailed fun stuff. You guys know I'm into details, and we will get into all that fun stuff in today's video. This is my Tom Ford brush cleaner, and this is what I like to use on my synthetic brushes. But for my natural hair brushes, I go for something a little more gentle. I like to use either the Dr. Bronner's or a great soap that I get from Beautylish. And everything I use, I'll list down in the description box for you. And if I forget to say anything, check that in the description box. I'm sure it'll be there. Let's start off with my beauty sponge. This one is a yuck mess. I'm gonna stop my sink. Just a little bit of water. This is what's left of a Beauty Blender solid. These are really good for sponges. So I like to lather up my sponge and just rub out all that foundation. To make life so much easier, to clean your sponges as soon as you use them so they don't have time to sit and like stain. This is a Juno & Co sponge, and it's pretty good with not absorbing product too much, but like beauty blenders, yeah, I try to clean those immediately, or it's like a pain to clean. So I'm pretty much just gently taking my finger and rubbing over the areas that are soiled and filled with foundation. And you just do that until it runs clean. For the most part, we look clean. I'm going to get out that water. And there she is. She's like brand new. These are my synthetic brushes, and I clean these differently than I do my natural hair brushes. So let's go ahead and clean these. So for my synthetic brushes, I like to use this mat from Sigma. It's called the brush cleaning mat. Has these little suction thingies on the bottom, and it fits perfectly in your sink. I'm going to stop my sink, put some water. Okay, my synthetic brushes are always like the most dirty. And like with any of my brushes, I try my best not to get water too close to here, which is your ferrule, which is where all the glue is and how the bristles are packed. So I just go ahead and damp the brush. Then this is the cleaner that I use. I know it's extra, but hey, that's me. So I'm just spraying the brush. And then I'm going to swirl. So I'm just going to go back with a little bit more. Maybe a lot. And you pretty much just swirl it around on this mat until it runs clean. And you'll know when your brush is clean just by looking at it. I can even squeeze it and tell that I'm not quite there yet. So I'm just gonna swirl it around here. And you can already tell that it is getting a lot cleaner already. Go into the little deep clean area. So she looks pretty good. I'm gonna set her to the side. Now I don't just put it down. I like to just lean it so that it's not getting water in the ferrule, but that's just what I do. So that I can rinse everyone at the same time and kind of try to save water. This is a great soap. I use this for both my synthetic and my natural hair brushes. So my brush is already wet. I'm gonna swirl around in there. And then on my mat. See how clean already? Yes. This is a foundation brush from Marc Jacobs. It's the Phase 2 brush. This is gonna be dirty. So let's clean her. I've had this brush for so long, you can't even tell. All the words have been rubbed off. So this is my third time now getting soap for her. So what I'm gonna do is go into the very refining area to kind of really scrub it. And you just want to keep repeating the process until your brushes are nice and clean. I'm almost there. So let's say you don't have a fancy mat, no problem. Wet your brush, get some soap, and just swirl it around on your hair. I'm gonna change the water really quick. I remember when I first got this brush, I was like, wait a minute, that red is gonna bleed. It does, but it doesn't affect my foundation. It's kind of weird. I don't use this brush all the time. I more so use it for this side, which I just wash. These big brushes, oh my god. They have something to clean. I like to start off with this. With these bigger brushes, you always have to make sure that you get like down in there and make sure that they are rinsed thoroughly, because I've had times where I was in a rush and there was still a ton of soap like in the middle because it's just so many bristles. It's understandable. All right, it's time to rinse. So this is just my way of trying to prevent wasting water. With these bigger brushes, I always make sure to like open them so that I make sure that they get rinsed properly. The good thing is this rinse water is going to be my wash water for my next batch of brushes. For now, I'll just lean them like that, and then we'll come back when everything's done everything. Oh my God. And put them in their special drying places. So this is the water that I use to rinse my brushes. Because we're trying to save water, I'm going to use this water now to wash all of these natural hair brushes. It's insane. This whole thing is full. But let's get her done. Pretty much the same process. I wet the brush, try not to get this area wet. Swirl it around in my soap. And for my natural hair brushes, I like to wash them in my hand so they're not getting roughed up too much. And I just squeeze off the excess. And then we put her to the side. I take extra care of these brushes because you guys know these things are not cheap. But they are totally worth the investment because they last forever. A lot of these brushes I've had for years. I love this little brush. It's a Wayne Goss number 20. It's literally a miniature blender brush. So good. Sometimes you can't help but get a little bit of soap or a little bit of water here, and that's okay. Just as long as you're not soaking the brush, you know what I mean? And like situations like this where I have a lot of soap left over, I don't even have to take the brush into the soap. I just kind of use whatever's left. We're very frugal, all right? We're very frugal. She dirty. Ooh, she dirty. This is probably going to make the water so gross. Ah! Oh my God, look at that. It's like a science experiment. When the water gets like this, it's like heavy with product, I definitely need to clean out the sink. Sometimes with these natural hair brushes, you don't need to do a lot of friction and rough them up. You just kind of gently get the soap through as if you were washing your own hair in a sense. You know what I mean? I know everything looks gross and nasty right now, but I promise to show you just how easy everything cleans up and how much water you save by doing this. Yes. I know we don't think about it sometimes, but we have a lot of luxury in the sense that we can turn on the sprinklers and water our lawns and run the shower until we feel like, you know. It's a beautiful mess, I will say. So what I'm going to do now is I'm quickly going to show you how I clean this up, and then we'll move on to rinsing all these brushes and how I dry them. This is the cleanser that I use. Not too careful with this. This is just a spoolie. This brush, if I had to guess, is over 10 years old. And look at it. That's what I'm saying. As long as you take care of the things you have, they can last you for a really long time. Yes, a lot of things are an investment price-wise at the time, but if it's something that you know is going to last you and it's something that you're going to use, consider it an investment. Another way you can kind of rinse your brushes is put your hand in the water and swirl your brush around. Yeah, you're going to get prune hands, but what I notice is when I put my hand in the water, it always helps me from getting the brush too far down into the water. So I personally like doing it this way quite a bit. I'm gonna clean the sink one more time, and then I will share with you how I dry these. And just like that, it was like I was never here. All right, this is my next step that I really feel is important when it comes to completely cleaning my brushes and sanitizing everything. I like to go in with these disinfectant wipes and wipe down the handles on my brushes. So I'll wipe down the handle. And you'd be surprised the amount of makeup that comes off of the handles sometimes, that obviously you're not washing your handles when you wash your brushes, but this is a step that I thoroughly enjoy. It's very satisfying to me. So I'm going to share with you a couple of drying options. All right. This first one, I have to say, is what I like to call anybody could do it. So here I just have a towel. This is not a full towel, and you can use a full towel. I fold it in half, and then I fold, I want to say about yay much. And now you can totally do it flat like that, and it gives you just enough angle, or, because I have this book here for demonstration purposes, I put it up against the book. So now we have an angle, okay? And what that angle is going to do is, here we go. We just cleaned our handles, shaped the brush a little bit. There you go. You've got a drying station. Another option for when you're drying your brushes, some of your brushes you want them to have a particular shape. These are brush guards. It's pretty much just a little plastic mesh device that you put on your brush for it to maintain its shape. So you can do that to let it dry. So I will clean my handle, put on my guard, put my brush to dry. And you can do the same thing for your eye brushes. So that's one option for drying brushes. Another great one is this one from Sigma. This is the Dry and Shape. I've had this forever, and it stores so nicely, as you can see. So it pretty much opens up like that. All right. Clean my handle. Now I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to pick a slot that I think will fit my brush the best. Pull it through just enough to hold the shape of the brush and secure it down here. You know, you repeat the process, and this you can fold and snap her into place. And look at that. And you can set her down, and your brushes are facing downward so that they can dry. It's another great option for drying brushes. And then there's this one. This is my tower from Sigma. It holds, I think it's over 100 brushes. It's very similar to this one in a sense, where it'll hold the shape of your brush and it's facing downward and they're secured. This tower holds so many different shapes and sizes. So see my eyebrow brush? I don't need it to be shaped, so I can just stick it just like that. Ooh. But the wipe, you can tell that some of the handles needed a nice little wiping. So I really love doing that to the handles when I'm all done. So the brushes are truly clean 100% all over. So all clean brushes are now put to dry. And you see this one, I don't really have a spot for it. So I just put her right here so she can dry. But this tower is pretty much full. Yeah, it was definitely time to clean my brushes. And I just put the sponge here, but this one's full too. This tower from Sigma is definitely one of my favorite things to use to dry my brushes. Another thing with natural hair brushes is you do not want to wash them too often because that will dry them out. What I recommend is between washes, have a nice soft microfiber towel that you can just clean it off in between uses. Do not use something like this on your natural brushes. This is the color switch. They have different names for them, but it's like a little harsh product. It's like a little harsh sponge in a pan that you just swirl a brush around in to switch between colors. I don't recommend that on natural hair brushes because I find it to be just a little too rough. And like I said, I have invested quite a bit into my natural hair brushes, and I try my best to take very good care of them so that they can last me for many, many more years to come. All right, guys, I think I've covered everything. If you have any questions for me, comment down below. And if you have any suggestions or recommendations for me, comment them down below. You know, I love having our little discussions. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to share my little tips and tricks and just what I do to maintain, clean, sanitize, and save water when it comes to cleaning my makeup brushes. Yes. And with all of that said, you stay healthy, you stay strong, and you stay beautiful. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.